Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be speaking on my experience being in the Principles of Math course with Dr. Perry. So firstly, I want to say I had an amazing experience being in this course. I got opened up to ideas and new skills that I didn't even know that I had, and I got introduced to new topics and new strategies that I can use in my own classroom. So, for one, I believe the most vital topic that I learned this semester was that failure is necessary for growth. I know it seems more straightforward. It seems straightforward, but to me, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It wasn't that straightforward of a concept to me when I first got introduced to it. So as we all know, there's a lot of math teachers and math professors that teach math in a certain way, and that certain way is teaching it just their way or the highway essentially. And they'll basically teach it in one method, in one way, and they'll show it to you in one way, and you're supposed to automatically be able to solve it and to know what you're doing essentially. So being in Dr. Perry's class, I've learned that that is the incorrect way of teaching. As a future teacher, I will never teach that way because simply not everybody has the same learning style. Not everybody can learn with only one method. The list goes on, but for the most part, not everybody has the same learning style. Some students and individuals may need visuals. They may need various examples, like real world examples. Like I said, visuals, videos, maybe. A lot of people, models even, a lot of people for the most part need that because it's not easy for them to just do an equation on paper and be able to get it like that. So that is one thing that I learned. I believe it's a very crucial lesson because this is what Dr. Perry discussed in class. We all grew up getting taught math a certain way, and this way was incorrect because our teachers didn't even know math themselves. Essentially, they would just go from the book or they would go from their own knowledge, which was also taught to them incorrectly. So the cycle just continues and continues, and we're not taught math correctly. We're not taught in the correct way, the correct methods. There's many ways to accomplish a problem. And all it takes is trial and error. If you don't try a problem, you will never receive the solution. And the solution is not just looking up the answer. The solution is trying and trying and trying, exhausting all your resources until you physically cannot anymore. And that's when you ask for help from either your professor, your teacher, a peer, or you can look up a video or go to one of the math resources that we have. So I believe that is a very, very valuable lesson because we are always taught basically that failure is weakness and that it's not growth, it's not, it's looked down upon, but in reality, failure just leads us to the pathway to success because if we come across obstacles, that will ensure that we're going to learn what we're doing wrong and we're going to tackle that and fix that, whether that's with help or whether that's with our own knowledge and help. So that is one thing that I really resonated with me personally because as a kid and even as an adult, I always felt, I would say, just not as smart as the other people who were math wizards. And it just really, I feel like it did affect me because math is all around us, math is everywhere. It's in our, when we get groceries, we're doing math. When we're totaling up what we're gonna get, when we want to buy something and we have a certain amount of money, that's math because we're trying to calculate how much money we're going to have left or if we have enough money. It is just all around us and we're always going to need to use it every single day of our lives. So it's important that we all have an understanding of it and we have to have grace with ourselves because math is not an easy subject, but it can be taught and learned in a simpler way, in a more inclusive way, and just a nicer way than it has been presented to us all these years. So one idea that I found beautiful or elegant was honestly learning fractions again, because that is one topic that I kind of have always struggled with a little bit, just because, like I was saying previously, it's always been taught to me in one way and that's it. But once I went to Dr. Perry's class, I was able to see that we can see fractions in many different ways. We can see fractions with fraction strips, which are just little strips that can represent a fraction in various ways. So let's say we have 3/4. So 3/4, it could obviously, we could have out of 4 1/4. We could have 3 1/4, another would be 3 out of 4. We can also do have our whole on top to showcase how much of the whole we have left, just various things such as that. Fractions, like I said, they're very tricky, so learning how to do them again was very important, and very, I believe, is very elegant because and beautiful, because when you don't understand something correctly initially, when you see it in a different light and when it blossoms in your head, it's a very electric experience because you're able to understand a topic that you may not have before. And that's what happened to me with these fractions. So another thing that that was beautiful to me and elegant was place value. I know it may seem very simple, but to me, we looked at it in a model form. I believe it was with little cubes that was 10 place, hundreds place, thousands, and I was able to see it in a model form. And I was able to see that sometimes it can be confusing for students and for people to grasp the concept of place value with models and with physical objects. So that is another topic that I learned and I thought was very beautiful and elegant. This class was very amazing. I loved everything about it. It was a very, very encouraging and enlightening course. It gives you all the tools you need to become a very great math teacher, and it gives you ideas on how to be a better math teacher than the teachers you had before you. So I think that this course will be very beneficial for all of you, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you.